My little sister just got pregnant. I'm convinced my dad had something to do with it. I was 13 when I sensed something was wrong in our home. It started with small things. Dad's footsteps lingering outside my bedroom whenever my sister Harriet cried in hers. Each night, she'd whimper, muffling it with a pillow. If I asked about it, she'd just shrug and say she had bad dreams. Mom acted as if nothing was off, always busy with chores or flipping through catalogs, while Dad watched TV, barking orders at Harriet to fetch him sodas. Harriet stayed quiet, eyes down. Tension hung in the house like a fog. Then Harriet turned 17 and discovered she was pregnant. She told me one night, trembling in my doorway, clutching a positive test. Tears streaked her cheeks. I pulled her into a hug, promising we'd figure it out. I didn't even ask who the father was. The question felt too big. We told our parents over breakfast. Mom paled and Dad lost it, demanding Harriet admit she was lying. When she tried explaining, he slapped the test from her hand. Harriet bolted, and Dad told me not to encourage this nonsense. I'd never seen him so enraged. I hoped once things settled, they'd help Harriet, but they didn't. Dad blew up whenever she mentioned the pregnancy. Mom stayed silent. Harriet's belly grew. She had constant sickness, but no prenatal care. My parents dismissed it as a ploy for attention. At school, classmates whispered ugly rumors, but Harriet never defended herself. One night, Harriet collapsed in the living room, moaning. She was clearly in labor. Dad just stood over her, arms crossed, hissing that he was done with her charade. I snapped. Grabbing scissors from the table, I lunged at him. He staggered back, yelling, while Harriet curled on the floor. I rushed her to her bedroom, barricading the door. No medical training, no plan, just raw fear. Harriet clenched my arm, screams echoing. Eventually, the baby crowned. I cradled the tiny, limp form, my heart stopping until a weak cry sounded. Relief flooded Harriet's face. Then a presence filled the room, tall, dark, cloaked in shadows. My heart hammered as it approached. Harriet looked at it with a rare smile. "I knew you'd come," she said softly. The being's face was partially hidden, its black eyes strangely regal. "Is the child healthy?" it asked in a low voice. I nodded, speechless. Harriet's tears glistened as the figure gently lifted mother and baby. Then it strode into the closet. I yanked the door open but found only clothes, no trace of them. Dad finally broke in, raging, but Harriet and the baby were gone. Over time, the house grew emptier. Late at night, I sometimes catch a glimpse, a small figure in the closet with Harriet's eyes staring back. Maybe she escaped with that shadowy being, or maybe something else claimed her. All I know is Harriet vanished that night, and in the quiet darkness, I still hear lullabies in the closet at midnight.